This is not ordinary content, it's a gateway. 33 seconds. That is the time needed to awaken something ancient within you. Thoth referred to it as the sacred tone of reformation, a vibrational alignment that renews both flesh and spirit. The most advanced science is beginning to glimpse what the Egyptian priests held as divine truth. Sound is not entertainment, it is structure, frequency, creation. And as these words reach you, feel your body shift. Your voice is not a tool, it is a key. If something stirs inside you, trust it. That's remembrance taking form. When truth brushes against you, even for an instant, the body knows. If you've felt it, don't let it fade. Click like now, as a resonance, as a response to something deep. It's more than a show of support. It's a vibration joining others. And if you feel the call to stay aligned with this sacred space, subscribing is the natural next step. Not to get more content, but to remain in touch with the frequency that just moved through you. It's your way of saying, yes, I belong to this. Sound is the bridge between the visible and the invisible. And those who sing with intention move the spirit through matter. While the Egyptian initiates remained in absolute silence within the dark stone chambers, something invisible was happening. They didn't listen to music, they didn't sing memorized verses, they didn't seek distraction. They waited, waiting for the right sound. Because in ancient Egypt, sound wasn't entertainment, it was power, it was sacred technology. When the priest Jacob finally intoned the exact vibration, something in the initiate's body reorganized. It was as if the spirit awakened, in response to a call from before birth. Those priests weren't simple musicians, they were masters of frequency. Every sound emitted from their mouths had a precise purpose: to heal, to align, to awaken. They knew that the human body responded to vibrations like an ancient instrument. It wasn't a belief. It was a practice repeated for centuries, because for them, every part of the body resonated within a specific range. The liver, the heart, the kidneys, the nerves, everything vibrated. And when an organ became ill, it was treated not with external substances, but with sound. A precise sound, tuned to the exact healing frequency. Thoth wrote about this in the texts that survived the collapse of Atlantis. When he descended into Egypt, bringing with him the principles of divine science, he taught the priests how to use sound not only to reorganize the tissues of the body, but to open invisible portals within the soul. He said that the flesh is only the outermost layer of the being, and that the true field of transformation resides in the vibrational plane, where the eyes do not see but the soul perceives. In the Hall of AI, which he described as an interdimensional space beneath the earth, Thoth spoke of how he used pure tones, sounds modulated with vibrational geometry, to guide initiates into a state between worlds. In that state, they accessed forgotten memories, purged past life traumas, and received energetic upgrades capable of even altering biological aging. But none of this was visible. The sound was not only heard, it passed through, it penetrated. It unlocked hidden layers of the energy field. This explains why sacred sounds were intoned only during specific rituals, in consecrated spaces, by those trained throughout their lives. The responsibility was so great that a mistake could collapse the initiate's vibrational field instead of healing them. These sounds were passed down orally for generations. Never written in books open to the public. They were codes, energetic passwords, and only those who were ready could absorb their effects. Thoth himself warned, "He who sings without awareness disperses his energy. But he who sings with purity awakens the fire hidden within the soul. And that fire is real. Pulses at the core of your being. It lies dormant, awaiting a call, and that call can come from a single note." The ancients knew that healing does not come from outside. It is a reordering of what already exists within. And sound, when properly intoned, does not introduce anything new into the body. It simply dissolves what blocks the natural flow of your energy. You don't have to believe it, just feel it. Because even if you don't know it, your body already knows these sounds, and your soul recognizes them. They have been imprinted within you from the first moment you set foot in this world. And the Egyptians were not alone. While the Gao chanted in their temples, another culture on the other side of the planet chanted sacred syllables. And when you discover what these distant traditions have in common, you realize it was never a coincidence. It was a plan, a legacy, a universal truth spread across Earth. The universe was sung into existence. While the Egyptians chanted sounds in the stone corridors, the sages of India spoke of something even more profound. The entire universe was created by a sound. Not fashioned with tools, not constructed by hands, it was sung. The Vedas, the most ancient spiritual texts, describe the origin of the cosmos as the result of a primordial vibration. The sound did not come later, it came first. It was the very act of creation. A formless tone that, manifesting, generated light, form, movement, existence. And this sound, according to the Vedic sages, still vibrates. It pulsates at the center of everything. This primordial sound is called Nada Brahma, the divine sound. The idea that the world is sound is not poetry. It is literally what they claimed. And this statement echoes exactly what Thoth taught his most advanced disciples. According to him, the universe is the direct result of the vibration of the universal mind. A living intelligence that thinks in frequency, creates in sound, and manifests in energy. Thoth said that by understanding the sound of creation, man is freed from the prison of matter. For that sound not only created the world, but still organizes reality. He said, "Sound governs form. He who masters sound masters form. And he who masters form walks between the worlds as one with the gods." This is not a metaphor, it is a codified language, passed down orally for centuries, guarded in the strictest secrecy. All of this makes even more sense when we understand that this primordial sound is not outside you. It vibrates within you now. Your structure, your cells, your energy field, everything responds to the original pattern of the sound that created the stars. Your body is a living score. Every organ a note, every heartbeat a distant echo of that first sound. The Vedas described it as Om. Not a word, but a universal vibration that resonates on all planes. When you chant Om, with presence and inner silence, you don't just relax, you connect with the origin. You vibrate in unison with that which shaped entire galaxies. It's as if the universe remembers who you are, and you with it. This memory doesn't come from the mind, it comes from the field. This is why many, practicing conscious chanting, report a profound calm and an inexplicable expansion, a clarity beyond reason. It's not imagination, it's reconnection. The most impressive thing is that these traditions, separated by oceans and millennia, said the same thing with different words. And when such distant cultures affirm the same truth, one must ask why it was hidden. And, above all, why it was never revealed to you. But there's more, because if the universe vibrates like a living song, then it can resonate with everything within you. This means that if you are out of harmony, your body clashes with the music of the whole. But when you vibrate correctly, the universe responds. And here things get even more real. When you realize that the universe was literally sung into existence, you will no longer be able to ignore the truth knocking at the door of modern science. For a long time, this was called mysticism, superstition, esoteric illusion. But physics, biology, and even medicine are reaching the same conclusion. Everything vibrates. Everything is in motion. Everything responds to frequency. This statement is no longer confined to monks or ancient masters. Now it's in laboratories, in scientific journals, in peer-reviewed studies. And the most impressive part is that it validates, word for word, what Thoth said millennia ago. You are not solid, you are made of atoms. And these atoms are mostly empty space. They're not fixed, immobile, immutable. They're always moving, vibrating at different speeds. What determines how you feel, think, or even get sick is precisely the frequency at which these parts of you vibrate. It seems simple, but it's devastating when you feel the impact. Because if everything in you vibrates, then everything in you can be reprogrammed. Here, science begins to bow. A field called cymatics, for example, shows that sound can shape matter. A dissonant sound generates chaotic patterns. A harmonious sound creates perfect geometric figures. It's visible, tangible, and reproducible. You can place sand on a vibrating plate and observe how different frequencies organize or disorganize matter. Now think, if your body is composed of over 70% water, and if sound has this power, what happens when you're exposed to disharmonious sounds, toxic noises, negative words, or, worse, repetitive thoughts filled with fear, judgment, and scarcity? This too is vibration, and it constantly shapes you. This is why, in the Hermetic teachings, Thoth made it clear that everything is governed by laws. And one of the most fundamental is the law of vibration. He stated that every imbalance arises from an alteration of rhythm. Where there is no harmony, there is disruption. And where there is disruption, there is disease, conflict, stagnation. But he also said something even more powerful. All chaos can be reversed by restoring rhythm. And that rhythm can be accessed through sound. Seek rhythm, and in it you will find life. Disharmonize rhythm, and chaos will take shape. This phrase, attributed to Thoth, is not a poetic metaphor. It is an instruction manual hidden in plain sight, because it reveals the code behind every living system. When vibration is correct, life flows. When it is incorrect, energy stagnates and everything begins to decay. Modern science, without realizing it, is arriving where the ancients had already gone. And the bridge between these two worlds is sound. Because sound works where the eyes can't reach. It reorganizes the energy field, stabilizes emotions, purifies the mind. But above all, it activates what's dormant within you. This is the moment when words must give way to experience. Because it's not enough to know that this is real, you have to feel it. Listen with your body, let the vibration do what no thought can. And when you experience it for the first time, you'll understand why so many wise men dedicated their lives to preserving this knowledge. Your voice can initiate healing now. And this is the point where everything changes, because healing, once remote, mysterious, accessible only to masters or technologies, is a powerful force. Go ahead, it's always been inside you. Literally inside. Not in another realm, not in another time. Here, now. And the instrument that activates it is closer than you think. It's your own voice. Your voice isn't just sound. It's energy encoded with emotion, intention, and frequency. And even more impactful, it carries the unique vibrational signature of your soul. When you speak with anger, the frequency vibrates in disharmony. When you speak with love, everything rebalances. Now imagine what happens when you sing with awareness, presence, and clear intention. The vibration generated by your voice begins to reorganize your internal field, like tuning an instrument forgotten for centuries. This practice isn't new. In fact, it's one of the oldest in humanity's spiritual history. But it was forgotten, trivialized, ridiculed. Because the last thing the system wants is for you to discover that your voice is a key, an instrument, a portal. Thoth always made this clear. He said that sound sung with purity is like a ray of light piercing the dense layers of matter, releasing trapped energy, removing blockages, and restoring the natural flow of life force. In his most secret teachings, he revealed that the word, used in harmony with the heart's intention, becomes a superior spiritual technology, something that acts directly on the subtle levels of being, beyond the reach of any medicine. And when you chant the right sound for 33 seconds, something remarkable happens. The vibration generated begins to resonate within you. It finds the points of disharmony and realigns them. Your energy field responds immediately. The nervous system slows. The mind calms. The body begins to release accumulated tension. And, above all, you feel. You feel as if something has been unblocked, as if the energy is flowing again through forgotten pathways. But it's not just any sound. It's not enough to chant anything and expect a miracle. There are specific sounds, precise vibrational codes, passed down by generations of initiates and preserved in the most ancient spiritual traditions. They weren't created randomly. They were discovered through alignment, a direct connection with a higher plane. These sounds were used in temples, in healing rituals, and in spiritual alignment practices, and not only in Egypt. They appear in different forms in Earth's most ancient cultures, and they all point to the same thing. Your voice, used with presence, becomes the most powerful healing tool there is. And this is where ancient and modern meet. What was once sung in secret rituals and guarded as a treasure spiritual, it's now beginning to be rediscovered even by those who've never set foot in a temple. Neuroscience, physics, and vibrational medicine are beginning to point to what the ancient masters intuitively knew. There are specific sounds capable of activating specific parts of your energetic body. And it's not a question of belief, it's a question of vibration. Each energy center in your body vibrates at a unique frequency. These centers, which you might know as chakras, aren't symbolic concepts. They are vibrational realities, like mirrors of profound aspects of your consciousness. When they're in harmony, everything flows. When they're blocked, everything stalls. And this is where sounds enter like keys. Keys that open not external doors, but internal portals. Each seed syllable carries an ancestral vibration. Lam activates your sense of security. Vam awakens pleasure and creativity. Ram strengthens the will. Yam accesses pure love. Ham opens expression. Om awakens inner vision. And they connect you to the supreme consciousness. These syllables were not invented by anyone. They were perceived, emerging from the profound silence of the sage's meditation. They were felt, not thought. And Thoth spoke of them thousands of years ago in inscriptions that have survived time. He taught that human beings possess 7 chambers of internal fire, and each responds to a sacred vibration. When these vibrations are chanted in the correct order, with intention and presence, something extraordinary happens. An invisible ladder begins to form within you. A ladder made of sound. And it is through this ladder that consciousness begins to ascend. Thoth called it the path to the throne of higher consciousness. Not a physical throne, but a state of being in which duality dissolves, time slows, fear loses power, an inner space in which the soul remembers who it is. That's why these sounds cannot be sung casually. They must be experienced. When you chant Lam, feel the base of your body vibrate. With Vam, feel the emotions move. With Ram, heat rises to the center of your abdomen. Yam opens your chest. Ham clears your throat. Om expands your forehead. And creates a vibration that seems to echo beyond your body. It's as if each sound opens a new dimension. You can do this now, sitting in silence, eyes closed, without rushing. Sing, feel, let the sound touch exactly where it needs to. Over time, you'll notice something change. It's not something you comprehend with your mind. It's something your entire field begins to perceive, as if you were tuning in from within. This practice is a tool of access. It not only unlocks, but reveals. Because when the internal portals open, you begin to see beyond your senses, realizing that there's more life within you than you show the world. There are layers of energy, memory, spiritual power, dormant but ready to awaken. And the secret is among the sounds. And as this sonic scale builds within you, something is starting to happen on an even deeper level. You're not just opening energy channels, you're accessing frequencies that directly affect cellular architecture. Here, science is finally breaking through the barriers that the ancient masters already knew. One specific frequency in particular has attracted the attention of researchers, vibrational therapists, and conscious musicians. 528 Hz. This frequency isn't just relaxing. It has a real and measurable effect on the human body. Studies show that 528 Hz promotes cellular regeneration, the repair of damaged DNA strands, and the strengthening of the human electromagnetic field. And even more impressive, you don't need expensive equipment or advanced technology to benefit from it. You can chant this frequency with your own voice. Here, Thoth's teachings shine with crystal clarity. He said that there are sounds aligned with the pulse of the earth and the vibration of the sun, and that when these sounds are chanted with the right breath and intention, the body enters a state of harmony that transcends matter. He called this frequency the key to the heart. A sound that not only heals, but restructures. Not only balances, but awakens. The vibration of 528 Hz acts as a field of coherence. It organizes what was confused. It dissolves pain patterns and restores the original language of your cells. This means that your tissues begin to remember how to regenerate, how to return to their natural state of perfection, before the trauma, before the conditioning, before the disconnection. And when this frequency is vocalized, the entire body responds. The energetic layers around your field expand. Your breathing deepens. Your mind slows, and it feels like coming home. It's not something you understand mentally, you feel it. It's as if your body is saying, "Here, this is what I needed." But there's a detail that few people know. A detail that makes all the difference. Because vibration acts powerfully, but it's in the space that follows the sound that the miracle truly takes root. After singing, after vibrating, after emitting the frequency, silence arrives. And in that silence, everything settles. The nervous system shifts from defensive mode to profound repair. Blocked energy begins to distribute itself delicately. The body listens. The soul listens. It's in that space between the sounds that ancient wisdom reveals itself most clearly. For centuries, Tibetan monks structured their chants to honor not only the vibration, but the space between them. Because they knew that sound activates, but silence integrates. Sound awakens, but silence reveals. Thoth spoke of it with reverence. He said that silence is the guardian of power, and that between one word and another is where the spirit manifests. The interval between two notes is not absence. It is pure presence. It is where the magic descends to anchor itself in the body. And when you begin to include that space in your practice, everything changes. Because you're not just creating sound, but creating a field, and this field begins to store the new vibrational pattern. A pattern that communicates to your system, now you are safe. Now you can heal. Now you can remember. Sing for 33 seconds and feel. And it is precisely in this subtle space between one sound and the next, in that silence charged with presence, that something begins to happen. Something the mind cannot explain. Because the more you sing with intention, the more you allow your voice to resonate with your soul, the more a strange, familiar, almost indescribable sensation emerges. It's as if something buried very deeply begins to slowly surface. It's not just well-being, it's not just relief. It's memory. Yes, memory, but not of childhood, not of this life. It's a memory that comes not from the brain, but from the field, from the spirit. It's as if every note you sing is decoding an archive of forgotten data. As if the vibration is dissolving a fog that has kept you from seeing who you really are for too long. Thoth said that the soul contains, like a living mirror, all the vibrational impressions of its passages through different existences, and that the human voice, used consciously, is the only thread capable of accessing these layers. He taught that there are sounds that not only reorganize the physical body, but also reactivate the soul's original memory field. Sounds that remind you of what was forgotten at birth, what was veiled so that the experience of matter was possible, but is now ready to emerge. And this memory doesn't come in words, it comes in sensations. A knot in the chest that dissolves peacefully. A lump in the throat that transforms into expression. An ancient pain that simply disappears. Every vocalization, every truthful chant, acts as a portal, an unblocking, a silent but profoundly transformative cleansing. You are not just on the verge of healing the body. You are about to bringing light back to parts of you that have faded. You are about to revitalize aspects of your spiritual identity that have been dormant. And that's why many, practicing these sounds, feel the urge to cry without knowing why, or experience chills, or have fragments of memories that seem to come from nowhere. It's real. It's what happens when sound penetrates the deepest layers of your being. It's not about learning a technique, it's about remembering who you are. And with each note, with each repetition, you begin to notice something that can no longer be ignored. Your soul is responding. Something within you is returning. Something that has always been there, but was waiting for the right moment to awaken, and that moment is you've arrived. Because now that the energy is activated, the field is open, and the sound has already begun its silent work, there's only one step left. Enter into full presence and sing. Not sing for the sake of singing, but sing as if your life depended on it. As if it were a wordless prayer, a pure act of reconnecting with the essential. A gesture of absolute abandonment. Now sit with your back straight, eliminate all distractions, and breathe deeply. And when your body is full of air, release it as sound. Vocalize, Om. Not just with your lips, but you must feel the sound vibrating in your chest, your throat, your skull. You must feel the resonance touching places that thought cannot reach. Remain there, present, vibrant for 33 seconds. No more, no less. This time is symbolic. 33 seconds is the minimum necessary to establish a new vibration in your subtle field. It is enough time for the sound to bypass the mind and reach the core of your consciousness. It is in that time that the key turns, the code fits, the dispersed energy begins to organize. Don't worry about perfection. What matters is presence, intention, and surrender. Let the sound flow from you as if it were a call, a reminder, an internal embrace. And at the end of the 33 seconds, remain silent. Simply feel, listen to what your body is telling you, what your soul is revealing to you. It may seem subtle, but something will shift. Something already has. Om is not just any sound. It is the vibration of creation. It is the fundamental note of existence. And when you consciously sing it, you don't just make a sound. You unite with that primal frequency. You dissolve the separation between who you are and who you have always been. This is the living wisdom of Thoth pulsating within you, not as a concept, but as a direct experience. And now that you have felt it, now that you have vibrated, now that you have activated it, there is no going back to who you were before. What you heard today did not end with the last word. It continues, weaving itself through the layers of your being. If something shifted in your body, in your breath, in your emotions, let it be acknowledged. Leave a like as a symbol of your conscious alignment. Type resonance in the comments, a sacred imprint that binds us across time and space. And if this energy feels like home, subscribe. This isn't about content, it's about remembrance. Each sound, a signal. Each silence, a sanctuary. Let your voice be not just sound, but direction. Let your thoughts soften and your heart become your compass. You are not a seeker of knowledge. You are a rememberer of truth. What was activated today will continue to move, subtly but steadily. Nurture it. Let the sound echo in your steps, your silence, your dreams. And when you close your eyes, you may find that you are not alone. There are others, vibrating alongside you. And that is where we'll meet, beyond thought, within vibration.